Okay, so today we're going to be looking at this cloud-enabled VR, specifically the Forge Max design automation service, and this is basically what we're addressing in this entire workflow, which includes, the user in VR sending a request to Nucleus, who then scopes out the request, meaning that it collects the data that the user said they wanted, and only that data. But they need a file repository for that to happen, because we're not going to be streaming in unoptimized geometry, just optimized geometry. So, and then that is returned into the headset, into the experience. So, if we focus on this part here, which is like kind of going to be this, the user submits content from the desktop or from BIM 360, right, into this mechanism that then, and this, what we're going to be seeing today is the FBX breaker. So it's going to break this Revit file apart and create an FBX of every single object, which is here. It's going to collect all the BIM data here. Whoops. It's also going to create a CSV file of all the data here, and then a max file as well. So let's check that out. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Basically what it's going to do is we submit the command line to max batch, and it grabs all the arguments from the JSON file. In this case, breaker is on, so it's going to grab these values, and then it's going to break apart the FBX, or it's going to export the whole project as an FBX. Then it's going to break out only the unique geometry, okay, for this file. But it's going to maintain, or it's going to write out the position, rotation, scale of all the objects and just say, okay, I am a child of this, but this is where I go. It also exports the BIM data. Like, this is a CSV file, but could just as easily be to a database if we wanted, or a JSON file, whatever we decide we wanted to do. Okay, so another project, I just changed to St. Stephen's, so I corrected my string, and then I corrected the JSON file, which you can't see, but here you can see it created the folders. And now it's doing the same thing, breaking out the uniques, writing that all to a CSV file. And this is actually, the breaker tool is something written by Mustafa Bizmi last year for sort of a similar project, but not. Okay, yep, and so it worked, and yeah, so I'm liking this recipe thing. 803 items, and there are 2,238 items in that file, but only 800 FBXs. So, and the rest of it's just data. So once we pull one thing that has 10,000 copies, then we're just reading that data file to say, where do your 10,000 copies go? But we've only had to transfer one piece of geometry. That's badass. Have a great Sunday.